Today's video is sponsored by Camel City Mill. Going to start things off with a reminder today. It is September. Make sure your wood stove, that your stovepipe is clean. Maybe do a once over on the stove. See if you need any new fire brick. But like I said, it's September. It's coming quick actually. I just watched a video from Ryan Hall. He is by far my favorite weather guy. And it looks like it could be an interesting winter this year. The way he described it was a country divided. And it looks like pretty much goes straight through the middle of the country. Everything north is going to be a little bit colder and snowier than normal. And everything south is going to be a little bit warmer and drier than normal. And right through the center appears to be, at this point, you know, it's early, but that's where the majority of the storms are going to go. Besides your wood stove, it's also a good time, especially around here. It's been so incredibly dry, but to blow off your machines, your radiators, make sure you don't have any like buildup. Oh, look at that. Any buildup of like dry leaves or debris, anything like that. It's a great time of year to catch things on fire. You know, I said it's a great time of year to catch things on fire. If you don't check this stuff once in a while, you know, especially around like your exhaust and things, you could have something build a nest in here, or, you know, a bunch of dried leaves and debris. These DPF filters, they get really hot. But yeah, it's just, it's super dry. It's not real hot during the day. It's actually been really nice. It gets up into the mid-70s. Today, I think it's going to get a little bit warmer, but just dry, dry, dry. All right, got the machine all greased up, ready to go. Just need to put some fuel in it. And then we're gonna head over to the neighbors for the little clearing job that I'm doing. The other day I took the mini skid over there and I mowed all the, you know, the underbrush, all the invasive stuff. everything that I could. There's some down trees in the way. But today, I'm going to take this machine over and we're just going to rip out all the small trees. Won't be any chainsawing, and we'll start a big brush pile and get ready to burn whenever the weather permits. I was talking about preparedness, you know, making sure your wood stove's ready to go, preparing for winter, preparing your equipment. Something else you should do, in my opinion, is always carry a little bit of cash with you. The Huntman and I went to Sheetz this morning, and they had signs on the door, cash only. And Sheetz isn't some rum-dum operation. They run a smooth operation. They really do. But they couldn't accept any credit cards or debit cards. And you should have seen all the people just leaving. Nobody had any means to pay for anything. And it gets me thinking, imagine if, like, on a national level or even a regional area, if that system went down. I don't know if that's possible or not, but we are all so reliant on the cards, myself included, but I always do have a little bit of cash on me. Going to Sheetz with Hunter and not being able to leave with something because you don't have any cash and the cards aren't working would be catastrophic. He would not understand when you tried to explain that to him. Kind of hosing off the windows a little bit. This has a wiper with squirters, but when you get all that dust on there and the sun shines through it, makes it difficult to see. The next thing you know, you're opening up the door and windows so you can see, and you're letting more dust in. And I'm telling you, the dust, the older that I get, the more I get all jacked up from it, allergies and stuff. When it's dry like this, I struggle. Like when we went to Colorado last year on that elk hunt, it's so dry out there. And I guess you kind of get used to it, but the dust was unbelievable. We're not used to that around here. We're more used to like mold and things like that because it's always raining and damp and wet. But boy, when we were out west and all that dust was blowing around, I get all stuffed up and all jacked up. I started taking one of those Zyrtex or whatever once a day. That seems to help quite a bit. So a lot of you have been asking about Buck, grown like a weed.
He is.
He's pretty stocky, isn't he?
He is. He's a really good boy. And he loves his mom.
Love your dad.
Yeah, Eva, I think he's going to be a pretty good sized dog.
Oh yeah. He's pretty big.
You good boy. Good boy, huh? You good boy.
All right, I got the machine all ready to go. I think we're about ready to head over and get started. You know, I've mentioned several times how dry it is. You know what else is dry? My feet, because I wear Camel City Mill socks. They wick sweat. They're made from merino wool. They keep your feet warm in the wintertime, cool in the summertime. They're just a great sock. I'll be honest, I never thought it was that important to have a great quality pair of socks until I started wearing these. Now I know. If you don't believe me, read through some of the comments from people that have bought them. Everybody loves Camel City Mill socks. I put my boots on in the morning, usually around 5 a.m., maybe 5:30, depending, you know, and I take them off usually about 8:30 at night. They keep my feet comfortable all day long, 100% American made, right down in North Carolina. 3 different lengths, ankle, crew, and boot, couple different colors. Can't beat them. I'm telling you, if you don't have a pair, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you don't know. Anyway, save 10% on my favorite work socks from Camel City Mill with code Morgans10. All right, we're over here at the clearing project. I started this with the mini skid and the brush cutter. I like to start with, you know, the underbrush first, get that out of the way, mow all that stuff down. Now today, I'm using the excavator to take down smaller trees. We'll use the smaller trees for fuel when we're burning, to burn the bigger trees and the stumps. So right here, I'm just kind of making my way around, taking down, you know, anything from 4 to 6 inch type trees, nothing real big at all. They come right out of the ground, no problem at all. But it is so dry and dusty, I keep talking about it. Now I want to show you something here. I always leave a tree close to where I'm stacking the brush. That cherry there to my left. And then what I use those trees for, you know, I always leave one close to the pile. You'll take a tree down, and then I use the tree to break the tree in half, or kind of fold it over in half, because you don't want your brush pile, you know, 40 or 50 feet long. So I always use that one tree. You'll see here in a minute, I'll grab a couple small ones, and then you take it over to that tree, and you can just work it right around it. Watch. Boom. Break it. That one's a little finicky. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes it doesn't, but I just took a 40-foot tree, made it a 20-foot tree. I'll do the same thing here with this cherry coming up. Just kind of grab it, bust it, collect it, put it in the pile. But these little ones, if they were all like this, this wouldn't take long at all. But there's some bigger trees in here. And, you know, if you bought a piece of property and you're going to clear it yourself, it's a lot of work. It is. I know guys that'll do it like with a tractor. It just takes a long time, and it's hard on the equipment. You got to be really careful. It's easy to swing something into the cab, or you're pulling on something and you can rip a treetop down from up above. You just always have to be paying attention with this tree stuff. It is. Moving the dirt, like when I'm done with all this, I'm going to build the driveway. And that's the easy part, you know, moving dirt. It's getting rid of all the trees, all the stumps. This whole site is probably going to be a little over an acre, you know, with the driveway and the home site. And the pile of brush and vegetation is just unbelievable that you will accumulate on a small lot like this. Now imagine... There, see that? I had a little piece come right towards the excavator there. It wasn't a big one though. But some of these stumps, every single one's different. Some come right out. Some give you a little bit of a fit here and there. But it's coming out nice. I mean, now this here, nasty, nasty grapevine. Look at this thing. Then it gets tangled up in your thumb. Gets tangled up in the rake. You got to watch you don't drive over it, because it'll get tangled up in your tracks. And all I do with these is just try to get them into like a compact pile that I can deal with. All right, making good progress. I got a little problem though. I'll show you that in a minute. But these grapevines, man, are these things nasty. Horrible. But what I'm trying to do is get a nice pile right over there. That's not where I'm going to burn. I'm going to burn somewhere right in here. We're just trying to open everything up a little bit, taking all the small trees down and cleaning up as I go. It's easy to just knock them down. It's staying organized that's the problem. If you don't, you're just going to have a big mess, and you're working around stuff all the time and jamming things up underneath the machine. But that's what I'm trying to do here, and it's coming along. I'm just taking the smaller trees down here today, and once we get some more out in this area, we'll start working on the driveway towards the road, and then in the next day or two we'll start knocking down the bigger trees. But here is my issue. I constantly knock this thing loose. That's happened probably 2 or 3 times. See, I got to get a wrench and really snug that thing down. But you get into all those trees and stuff, and it doesn't take much to bump that and loosen it up. I could see that my thumb was getting wet from inside the cab, but at first I thought it was one of these trees. Some of them, you grab them and it's crazy as dry as it is, but if you get them just right, you'll see like water squirt out of them. So I thought that's what the problem was, But I saw this leak in here. All right, I got my fitting tightened up. Going to get back to work here. I hope we get some rain in the next couple days because I'm almost to the point where I can't do much until I can start getting rid of some material. Otherwise, you're just knocking trees down, stacking them up, and then you're going to have to move them again. You know, I already have to double handle the material now, just getting ready to burn. But once we get a fire burning, what I want to do is just keep it going. You know, you get a nice bed of hot coals and burn that brush pile down. You can throw some stumps in here or there, start taking down the bigger trees, just cut the stump off, cut the top off, put it in the fire, and you touch everything one time. But here's more of that grapevine right here. This stuff here, we used to swing from this stuff when we were kids. Look at that. Just try to pile it up as best you can. Put it in the pile. It's everywhere. Now I'm going to move to the other side of my brush pile here. There's a bunch of smaller trees in here. This section didn't take long at all. There's a pile of dirt right there, and I'm not sure why that's there or when it was put there. So I'm kind of working around it. My brush pile is right on the other side of it. But what I'm going to do, I need to start another pile here down below. Once we get the fire going, I'll bring the skid loader over with the big grapple, and whatever I have down there on the low side, I can grab it, 1 or 2 bites with the big grapple, carry it up to burn. I haven't seen any yellow jacket nests in here, and I'm shocked. It seems to be, this is the perfect environment for them, both the weather and the location. I haven't seen any. You know what I do when I'm mowing and I see one of them? I just pull right over top of it with the zero-turn mower and just sit there for a minute. I've never gotten stung doing that. I don't know if the blade's spinning so fast, literally like suck them out of the ground or what, but when I don't recommend this, but I just pull right over top of it, sit there for about 30 seconds, and carry on with my business after eliminating the threat. There's more grapevines there. We're going to start heading down towards the road here. The driveway is going to go in here. I got punched through to the road the other day. There's only about 7 or 8 bigger trees down here. So once we get the smaller stuff out of the way, get our fire going, like I said, it won't take long. I'll be anxious to get the driveway cut in. There's about a 3.5 foot cut at the road. So we'll make a nice wide entrance. We'll slope the sides so it can be mowed. And all the little things that you learn over the years to make things easier down the road. Like I said, make everything as mowable as possible. Don't leave steep banks. Make sure you have, it's cut back. So when you pull out the end of the driveway, you can see down the road both sides. No problem at all. This is a state road. We got a permit from the state. They can't really stop you from putting, accessing your driveway. So when you see those ones that don't have a lot of sight distance, at least in our area right here, they can't stop you from accessing your driveway. But we went ahead, got the permit and all that. They got plenty of sight distance. But yeah, it's coming along. I'll be glad to get all the trees gone, everything burn up, strip the topsoil off, build the driveway. I would say within, depending on the weather, a week or 2. But anyway, I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. If you enjoy this type of format here, let me know. We'll catch you on the next one.